Welcome back to the channel, guys. So tonight we're going to take a break from the dungeon grind. I will be doing the dungeon off camera. I just want to go over the new monsters that I had mentioned in the last video that I said I would go over. Not all of the information for the monsters is out yet, so there's going to be a part 2 to this video in the future when the rest of the information is revealed. But we're going to go over the information that's been revealed so far. I lifted on the screen because this Manipulate guy, or Manipulate, however they want him to be pronounced, is the last monster that I need for the books. And then we can start ranking up him, and I think Craster is the only one left, and Aatrox one more, and then we should be able to get them all ranked 2 doing that. At least that's my intention anyway. So anyway, let's jump into the monster. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and go over the one that I like the most out of all that I've read so far. Its name is Kaguya, I guess. I don't know how half the names in this game are pronounced, nor do I really care. But this is the new PvP monster, the one that's going to be in eggs like how Heist was and how Teddy VR was. Actually, I'm going to read the bottom part of it first. It says there's a new monster you can obtain in the multiplayer tournaments, which we just went over. It's Dark Monster, and it has extra turn skills. So to me, this will be my first Cosmic that I can get with extra turns because I failed to breed Thunder Kong, which everyone says Thunder Kong wasn't any good anyway. I haven't played against him enough to really draw that opinion or not about him, but either way. He also has the ability to boost damage he causes. Not only that, but he can apply random damage buff and evasion. Plus he can deal damage to one enemy and still get an extra turn. Or he can deal damage and apply bleeding to every single enemy. To top it off, he has evolving trait. At rank 0, he's hardened. And then at, I guess, rank 2, replaces this trait with blind immunity. Wait a minute. Yeah, so it says that he has Harden at rank 0 and that he replaces this with blind immunity at rank 1. That's gotta be the dumbest shit I've read so far. I don't know if it's a typo or what, but Harden and blind immunity are not even in the same damn ballpark. Why would one replace the other? I have no idea. I couldn't even really tell you which one of those two is better, to be honest. And then at rank 3, he gets self-precision? Like, that looks like I don't even know the words for a mess in traits. That's all I can say about that. But I do like self-precision on an extra turn monster. Alright, so let's read his moves. Deals moderate dark damage to one enemy, applies dark weakness to one enemy. So if he's an extra turner and that doesn't have an extra turn, I'm guessing that's either like his 0 CDA move or it's his, finisher move. I'm not sure. Removes all tortures from itself, applies precision to itself. I don't like that. That's trash to me. The reason why it's trash to me is we're talking about an attacker. If my attacker is spending a turn doing anything besides attacking, I don't like it. The next move. Deals moderate dark damage to all enemies, applies bleeding to all enemies. Okay, we're back in the same way I was with the first move. That's either his finisher or it has 0 CDA or something, or it sucks. Because we're supposed to be an extra turner. So the next one is applies damage boost to itself, gives one extra turn to itself. Okay, the fact that it doesn't attack is fine because we're giving an extra turn to ourselves. That's, not good with the anticipated cross from you, but without anticipated cross from you, that's really good. I don't know how long the damage boost lasts, but I would hope it lasts for at least 2 turns since he's going to be spending the first turn extra turning. Deals moderate dark damage to one enemy, gives 1 extra turn to itself. That's really good because you're stacking damage. Like if you damage boost into a moderate dark damage and then still get an extra turn, that's pretty good. Deals moderate dark damage to all enemies, applies dark weakness to all enemies. Requires cooldown. Okay, what's the difference? Oh, okay, that one's to one enemy and this one is to multiple enemies. Okay. And then it says applies a random damage buff effect to itself, applies evasion to itself. Again, this is supposed to be an attacker. Why would I want to be putting stuff on that is not attacking? I don't. That does not encourage me to like an attacker at all. Deals heavy dark damage to one enemy, applies bleed to one enemy, requires cooldown. Alright, so as is, this guy is shit. Like, unless these extra turn moves are like Nora or something, where they have like one cooldown so that I can stack them together, like one has one cooldown and one has two cooldowns to where I can take 4 extra turns, then this guy's awesome and I'm on board, except for the fact that only one of his extra turns does damage. Like, oh, man. Okay, next monster. So this one is supposed to be the race monster. Let's go ahead and read these little, I guess, passages about it or whatever. The new marathon has started. This time, not only can you get a cosmic mythic monster, you can also get a mythic stardust, permanent avatars, and so much more to get. I guess that's cool because the other avatars were only, what, temporary or something? I don't know. Gunasar or whatever is a heavy attacker that can deal out tortures and weaknesses to be even more destructive. I guess, like, can't you just make him destructive without crap like tortures and weaknesses? But he's a water monster, guys. I'm pretty sure, anyway. He can deal low damage and apply freeze with a 50% chance single target. That's not all. He also gets damage boost and freeze immunity. He can deal high damage to an area and apply drown and water weakness to one target. In particular, he can deal very high damage to shock them to the core and thunder weakness to the whole enemy. Okay, I didn't care about any of that trash. Meet Hydratilia's son when Queen Thasla left the water realm to fight alongside the other war masters, and Thetis took over her throne or whatever. None of this is telling me anything about the monster. Okay. I have heard people rumor that the Hydrilla has like 0 cooldown, or I mean 0 stamina moves, so that's what I would be hoping for. But anyway, let's get into his moves. Deals low water damage to one enemy, 50% chance of a flying freeze to one enemy. That's trash to me. I mean, if it's a 0 CDA move, that's really cool. Or if it's a 0 stamina move, that's really cool. The next move deals low thunder damage to one enemy, applies shock to one enemy. That's trash to me, too. If it costs 0 CDA, I mean, it could be cool, like, on, I guess, on Erder, but it deals low damage and not, like, heavy damage or moderate damage or anything crazy. So I don't like it. I've heard people say, you know, that you can shock and stop things like, Lino Worm from past an extra turn. No, it can't, man. He's the second fastest monster in the game. This monster is an attacker, meaning it's not going to be faster than the second fastest monster in the game, okay? Like, you're not shocking shit. Like, for real, if you're shocking something and stopping it from taking extra turns, you're shocking a noob, bro. Deals moderate water damage to one enemy, applies drown to one enemy. I mean, that move is cool on an attacker. Why? Because it deals damage and it puts a torture on them, which is what you want an attacker to do. But at the same time, like, I would trade that crap just for a harder hit. Like, come on, man. Deals moderate water damage to one enemy, applies water weakness to one enemy. I mean, I guess if you're in the future making more attackers and it's like you're supposed to be pairing something up with this, like, oh my god, man. Alright, so I don't like anything about the monster. Applies damage boost to himself, applies immunity to freeze to itself, requires cooldown. Like I've just said on the last monster, if I'm supposed to be an attacker and you have me doing a whole turn of not attacking, then I'm a garbage can. Okay, this guy is trash. Deals moderate thunder damage to all enemies, applies shock to all enemies. Trash, okay? Like, trash. The whole thing so far. Deals heavy water damage to all enemies, applies drown to all enemies, applies water weakness to all enemies. Okay, cool, he's got one good move. Why? Because it does a crap ton of damage, guys. And if they're, for whatever reason, not dead, if you gotta smack them again next turn, they're water weakness, so you're gonna mess them up. Like, him being a water monster and having thunder moves is definitely cool for, like, the mirror. You can, like, hit your opponent's water monster with thunder. Like, come on, man. Like, these moves are garbage ass moves. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, drowned? Why do I care about drowned? We got curses and shit in the meta. Like, what is drowned? Water weakness to all enemies. Like, what is that? That's like saying you need more than just, it's like saying this guy's not good enough by himself. So since he sucked at doing his job, he left him weak for the next thing to do it, his job, which is kill him. Like, get real, man. Deals heavy thunder damage to one enemy, applies shock to one enemy, applies thunder weakness to all enemies. Yeah, man. That's cool. He hits real hard and he leaves him weak and he applies shock. No, this guy is complete junk to me. Okay, now where am I going to, like, what can I say positive about this guy? Everything I say about this guy could change depending upon his traits. I mean, you could make the guy's trait like area dodge or something and then he's good, or you could make his trait like some new trait where he takes extra turns or something. I have no idea. But as is, these moves, I wouldn't wipe my ass with them. That's how pathetic they are. Deals heavy, and that's his special. I don't even care about his special. I can't stand specialists in this game anyway. They're for girls to win. I mean, it's straight up. And when it comes to his moves, like, I see like a slug here, man. Meaning, I felt the same way when I read slug. Like, people be trying to say, like, oh, no, he's good, man. Like, he's, like, you want anything to be good if you think that's good. I didn't read one damn move on this guy that was good. Not one damn move. None of them. Like, that deals heavy water damage is good because it's on an attacker and you're expecting you're going to have a lot of strength and stuff. But tell me why it has water weakness. Because you're failing to do your job as an attacker. Like, that's what weaknesses mean. It means you failed. I want weaknesses on support monsters. I don't want weaknesses on attackers. I want my attacker to kill the damn son of a bitch, not leave him weak. Like, what kind of shit is that? That's like asking your little brother to attack something for you, you know? Like, oh, hey, weaken him up for me so that I can kill him. Like, no, how about you just kill the son of a bitch and do your job? Like, you're an attacker. That's what I expect out of you. Now, my most positive thing I got to say about this guy. It's me, myself, I'm a noob. Haven't even been playing 1 year. So when it comes to water, I don't own, like, anything. Like, legend-wise, I have Izul, and he's rank 3. Okay, so I have to use him in wars when it's water or anything close. Okay, I don't have anything better. There was a cool water attacker that came around in the races, which was Cawthor. I didn't get him. I got him rank 1. I was in a lower ranked team back then. So I really have absolutely nothing in water, which means no matter what I say about this guy, no matter how bad I say this guy is, his stats alone and me being in an 85 lap team and grabbing him at rank 4 is automatically going to make him playable and usable to me because he does a lot of damage and he's water. So that's what I need is a lot of damage in a water guy. I just think that his moves could be so much better for an attacker, man. It's almost like these two monsters, it's like somebody called Social Point up and was like, look, whatever you did when you made Lino Worm, you guys got to cut that out. You can't be making monsters that OP. And then they were like, oh, okay, we'll turn it down a notch. Like, because everything was going good, move-wise, monster progression, the monsters unfolding and one being better than the last and everybody being cool. And since Lino Worm, I'm reading garbage cans, man. Like, straight up. Like, they're garbage cans since him. Like, I don't know if that's supposed to be a sign from the developers saying, hey, man, just save all your stuff and rank Lino Worm and don't worry about these new monsters. We're giving you a break so that you can have the time to rank up, your Lino Worm. I don't know. I just know that I'm not happy about anything I read on this damn monster. Not one thing. Not one. And this is supposed to be something I look forward to, so they've got a lot of work to do when it comes to his trait. It could change big time. He could have Pierce. He could have Pierce as an actual trait. He could have positive effects protection or something. Like, he could have... There's so many things this guy could have. He could have immune to control with Pierce. I don't know. The guy could have double sword relics. Like, that would be really cool on an attacker. Like, but again, like I said, if this is all I got to go on, you can just throw him in the damn toilet and hit the flush button, okay? Alright, so moving on to Mr. Beast, or Undead Beast. Right off the bat, I don't care what anyone says about the first Mr. Beast. I thought it was trash, okay? I don't care if people are like, whatever, you guys want anything to be good and you spend money making shit that sucks good just because you over-equip it compared to everyone like my scrub ass. But Mr. Beast was a gold collector, bro. Like, if you thought Mr. Beast was more than a gold collector, bro, then you're the type of person I don't want advice from on how to get better at games or how to play this game. Now, this Mr. Beast, I have no idea really about. I've read over him once and I seen he had extra turn moves. Someone had told me, his extra turn move, with regen on an extra turn means you're going to get a chance to heal before it gets purred. So let's jump into reading them and see if, at first glance I missed something. Free claws. When you say free, I'm hoping that causes 0 stamina and 0 cooldown. That would be really dope. Why? Because it deals heavy damage. So if you give me a free 0 stamina, 0 whatever move that deals heavy damage, that's bad. I mean, bad in a good way. But I also think that this monster is the pay-to-play pass. which means I'm not getting it, so I can't say if you give me the heavy claws for free. But spenders may be getting some heavy magic claws for free. Deals low magic damage to all enemies, free bites. So same thing. The words that they say free to me has got me thinking no stamina or got me thinking no CDA, one or the other. Prank preparation. Deals moderate magic damage to one enemy, applies guard down to one enemy. Guard down means that all your attacks will hit. That's not really that cool to me. Applies life regeneration to itself, gives one extra turn to itself. Okay, I get what somebody was saying now. That means that in the same move, you're going to heal automatically. Why? Because you're going to apply life regeneration and then heal. And during that transition from one move to the other, or from one effect to the other, there's no chance for your opponent to interact, which means it is a guaranteed heal. So that is really dope. I do agree that's a good move. Deals moderate magic damage to all enemies, applies guard down to all enemies. Again, I'm not really a fan of guard down. But at the same time, I mean, I'm also not a fan of missing, and that is going to reduce the chance of that happening. But yeah, that's a mediocre move to me. Applies a random element hater skill to himself. First off, I can't stand anything random and I can't stand anything chance. I just want things to work a certain way and I want to be able to use them a certain way all the time, constantly. Why? So that way I'm not getting screwed over. I will take all of the lucky wins and throw them in the trash can if you just take all of the screwing me over and throw it in the trash can too. Just give me absolute moves, okay? Applies a random element hater skill to himself, so that's not even as good as damage boost to me, meaning if he had damage boost, that would be better. And gives one extra turn to himself, so he's not doing anything with it, so that's not really that cool to me, except if you put life regeneration on you first and took your extra turn and healed once, and then you put a hater on yourself and take an extra turn again, that's a lot of healing, man. So this guy could really come back in a fight healing-wise, meaning you could just smash for damage and then go through 2 turns of healing and then smash for more damage, which is basically, that's what I would call tempo in games, meaning this guy seems like a pretty dope tempo monster, meaning being able to take the tempo of a fight in his favor. Deals magic damage to one enemy, applies curse to one enemy. This again, if you're able to heal and you're able to peck away damage, this move is going to work while you're doing your healing stuff, meaning they're cursed, so when they take their turn, that stacks, and while you're taking your turn, you're just trying to heal away what they did with their turn. This guy's not that bad. He's not great. I don't see one thing here that's great. But I do see things here that are playable, and so far out of the monsters I've been reading, I would say that this is probably the better one. Deals moderate magic damage to all enemies, applies curse to all enemies. Yeah, so that's the same thing. He can apply curses, he can heal himself, and he can deal damage. It's not the greatest, but it's not the worst, okay? I don't know relics or traits, but let's see. I think I grabbed, right here. Undead Mr. Beast is a magic uncontrollable attacker. So I don't know if that means that he's got SC control immunity like Ignis, or if he's got trait control immunity like Heist, but the fact that he has extra turns does seem awkward that he would have SC uncontrollable, so he's most likely immune to control trait, and then the life regeneration and random haters are his skills. I didn't read any uncontrollable skills, so that's why I would say that it's most likely trait, but there's no guarantee on that. That could probably just be like an adjective too, like he's out of control, you can't control him, alright, because he just heals back everything you do, so anything is possible. He casts life regeneration and gives himself extra turn, or casts blah blah blah, and he can also deal out damage, apply guard down to his enemies. Undead and unstoppable. So he's mediocre to me. He's not great. I wouldn't be saving up dust to go get this guy. There's already monsters I'd rather spend dust on than that. But if I was getting them, it'd be for books. It'd be for whatever reasons, okay? This monster here, I don't know what it's for. Maybe it's look down there, it says a challenge monster. Okay. Deals moderate water damage to one enemy. If it's free, that would be cool. Deals low water damage to all enemies. Again, if they're free, that could be cool. Deals moderate water damage to one enemy, applies drown to one enemy, applies poison to one enemy. I do like a double torture, especially with a moderate damage. That could really cripple an opponent. That's actually a decent move. I like that. Deals moderate water damage to all enemies, applies stamina regeneration to herself. That's not the worst. I mean, you're getting something for also swinging. I mean, you're not getting something like incredible, but yeah. Again, I'm not seeing anything impressive. Deals moderate water damage to all enemies, applies drown to all enemies. Yeah, like, seems like, I mean, if this is a water monster, it seems like I said, I don't have much in water. So it could be cool. Maybe it's like the water attacker that's for the people who don't race and get, high ranked monsters. So this is the one that's supposed to like come through for them. I don't know. Applies Wing Hater to herself. I'd have to check the books and see exactly what else Wing. But again, the fact that you're not attacking on a turn with an attacker is trash to me. So I'm not interested in that. Removes positive status effects from one enemy, deals heavy water damage to one enemy, applies drown to one enemy. That's cool because it's a purr that leaves a torture that also deals heavy damage. So that's a very good move. That's probably the best move I've read tonight. Strength of the Deep. Applies Pierce to herself, applies damage boost to herself. Again, we're talking about an attacker and we're talking about using a move to not attack. I don't like it. Special, I don't care about the special. It says in this exclusive challenge, so I'm guessing it's like a Tails challenge. Blah, 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 blah. Nothing. Do I see anything about? Plus, she can apply Pierce and damage boost. So I don't see anything about traits. We don't know traits and we don't know relics on most of the monsters that I just read. That's why we're going to have to do a part 2 to this video, because in part 1, I am straight saying that these monsters make me want to vomit. That's how pathetic and disgusting and shitty they are to me. Like, and people can say, oh, no, you don't know what you're talking about. And they'll use the fact that something changes, meaning like you guys will find out that they got awesome traits, or you will find out that they got awesome relics. And then people will say, Lost Jumper said those monsters sucked, and look at them. They're dominating the meta. They're great monsters. And those people are the idiots that don't follow through with context. The context is without the relic information, without the trait information, with solely the moves only, they're all trash to me. I think that I'd rather have Linoworm times 3 compared to any of those monsters that I read. Meaning, like, the monsters that were coming out before Linoworm were, like, on their way up a hill. They were getting better and better and better. And then it's like Linoworm peaked, and then they just crashed after. Meaning, every single monster printed after Linoworm has been shit compared to Linoworm. The free-to-play Anticipation monster is cool, but it's still not as cool as Linoworm. So that's how I feel about the new incoming monsters. I feel like it's easy for me. I just don't let it affect me, and I go back to what I was doing, which is working on my GPM, working on trying to get farther in the Stardust dungeon, and just, like I said, if I can get the race monster at rank 4, then I don't really care how shitty his moves are. If I had Slug at rank 4, Slug would be playable to me, and his moves are shit. To me, it's about getting those higher ranked monsters for a cheaper resource cost. If I can get them for cheaper resource costs, then I can make them useful in some way. Now, when it comes to trying to be impressed, like, man, the next race monster is awesome, I would be lying to you guys. I am not impressed at all. I'm basically sitting back like, so I guess the trait's going to be phenomenal, right? Then, because you guys, every race have been impressive, meaning like all the race monsters are cool. They're cool all the time. So for me to read a whole list of garbage and be like, I scratch my head and be like, how can the next race monster be junk? How is that possible? And then it's like, dude, it's not junk. Why? Because if you got it rank 4 and it has a heavy hit that weakens and tortures, you're going to roll anybody who's got 110s or 120s or even 130s with it. You're going to be like, smash, your Megaton's dead. I didn't have to do anything about it. It's just dead. Or smash, your other guys are dead. Like, yeah, like that's basically how it will work. But when going against other 150s, it's not going to do shit for me, really. Meaning I'd rather have a denier. Like, why? Because there's deniers who actually have moves that are designed to deny, instead of giving me an attacker that has support moves like weaken and tortures. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for in an attacker. What I'm looking for in an attacker is things that say, hey, opponent, you're dead. Okay, and to me, that's where I feel on the monsters. I don't want to ramble on for too long. I still have things that chore-wise to do in this game myself. But at least you guys, when you come to my channel, you're going to get what I actually think about these monsters. I'm not going to sugarcoat this shit, okay? These monsters suck. Like, they're probably going to be good. Why? Because if people just are as smart as me and they read this shit and they're like, oh man, these things really suck. I feel like a lot of people, when they do that, like a lot of people, when they read something, they're like, man, this sucks. They want to be that person who discovered a sleeper. They want to be that person who was like, everybody else said it sucked and I said it was good. Okay, and I understand that, and people really dig deep and look for reasons why these monsters are good. Meaning, like, I see people already being like, no, man, the race monster is good. Okay, without traits and without relics, there's no idea even without stats, there's no idea what the next race monster is. But with just those moves, the next race monster can kiss my ass. There's so many monsters with better moves. Okay, so many monsters with better moves. That's just awful to me. But I am short in attackers, so I can't wait to get a rank 4 attacker and use it for something. But I like Crayster better. I like Nora better. I like tons of other attackers better, okay? But if the dude's got massive stats and he's wearing a speed and 2 strengths and he's able to wipe your floor, like, people say it's good. So, I mean, if it's good, it's good. But at the same time, what else is important is CDAs, meaning I need to know cooldowns. I need to know stamina costs. Why? Because some of those moves could be free. They might not cost any stamina. And if you look at like somebody like Gothor, he's a pain in the rear end to deal with if you can't possess him, and his moves cost 0 stamina. So what if this monster can't be possessed? We don't know. What if this monster's got 0 stamina moves? We don't know. What if it's got revival relics? We don't know. What if it's got stamina drain ability to wear relics? We don't know. There's so much stuff we don't know. But yes, when I look at like deniers like Henrich that come out, and then I think, you know, like, wait, you're gonna make monsters water weak, you're gonna make monsters thunder weak, and you got deniers that can do both. Like, like, man, this guy could pair up well. Right, but when I'm looking at an attacker, I want an attacker, something like Vanos, that says, hey, I do my job, I kick ass as an attacker, I don't have to tag team someone to come in and clean up the scraps. Like, so that's where I feel on the monsters. Anyone who has comments on these monsters, please leave the comments in the comments. I would love to read them. I try to read all the comments. I will respond to everybody's. And don't think that I can't do a total 180 flip and come back in the next video and be like, guys, these monsters are so awesome. You better be saving up your resources. You better get these monsters. Why? Because they're going to crush. Like an example, just put area dodge on any of the monsters I read, and I'll be telling you to, if they release tomorrow area dodge on any of the monsters I just read, then tomorrow I'll make a video and tell you guys you better be saving up getting these damn monsters because they're good. Like, that is how much effect a trait can have on a monster. But as is move-wise, oh man, boy, not looking forward to them. Anyway, guys, thanks to everyone who watches the channel. Tomorrow I will probably go back to the dungeon. I'll show you guys that tonight's dungeon is actually different than the previous dungeons, as it looks like we might even be able to get far in there, just because it looks like the fastest guy on the team is just a possession guy. So none of them can purr, which means I should be able to just roll through there, I hope. Anyway, thanks to everyone who's been watching the channel. Later.